button too. Okay, anyways, like I said, guys, we've got a special guest today, Paul James. Paul James, I'll tell you a quick little story about Paul, and how I actually found Paul. Paul is he's been doing local marketing for quite some time. He's a local consultant. He works with businesses all over the country, and I happened to come across Paul on YouTube. YouTube is pretty cool. It's been introducing me to a lot of great marketers over the past few years. As a matter of fact, Jack Mize was another one that I found through YouTube. But basically, Paul was recommended to me by YouTube. I started watching his videos, and to be honest with you, I got hooked. One of the things I love about Paul is that he always seems to be on top of things. He's on the cutting edge. He's got he knows, he keeps up with the changes. When there's cool stuff that comes out, he's all over it, and it helps. It helps when you have somebody like that you can go and that you can trust and you can listen to. Everybody knows I'm also an avid YouTube guy. I make lots of videos. By the way, if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, you should be. I'll drop a link in here. So for those of you that actually have not subscribed to me on YouTube, please do that. Also, let me just type this in here. Also, if you would please become my friend on Facebook, because I'm actually starting to share more stuff out there to all of my subscribers through Facebook. So, those are the two things. But anyways, back to Paul. So Paul, he caught my attention through Facebook. Or sorry, through YouTube. I'm typing Facebook as I'm talking. Through YouTube, and I started watching all of his videos. Well, about, a month ago, I was on not the treadmill, but the bike at the gym, and I happened to be watching this video of Paul discussing his new local Google Local Plus methods, and it caught my attention because nobody has been talking about it anymore. Anybody here used to do or still doing Google Local, Google Plus at this point? Yes, we got a lot of people saying yes, some people saying no. Okay, not anymore. Okay, good. Well, this is going to be some good information for you, and Paul's going to really open your eyes to a lot of stuff, because I personally was in the same boat. I mean, I stopped doing Google Plus because, or at least advertising Google Plus, because it got so difficult to do. You're always having issues with bugs and and all that good kind of stuff. But long story short, Paul has got some really great information for you today that he's going to discuss. And there's two things. I'm going to be looking for my little WordPress theme that I'm offering up to you guys as a bonus today. If you get the Google Plus map, I think he calls it Maps Mentor at the end. It's a great offer. Also I've got a special link that I'm going to share that you can use to go out and literally practically guarantee you're going to get on the first page of Google within just a couple of weeks. So anybody excited to get that link? Yes? Awesome. Cool. Yeah, and I'm going to be sharing that too at the end. So without too much further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our special guest, Paul. Paul, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mark. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Cool. So, yeah, well, thanks for the introduction. I'm super excited to be here. I got a lot of cool stuff to share with you guys, so you're definitely going to want to stick around. You're going to learn a lot of actionable content just during this webinar alone. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. Like Mark said, a lot of people have shied away from Google Places, what it used to be called, because it's just been a real pain to work with. They did a bunch of name changes and switched stuff around, and reviews were disappearing, and crazy stuff's been going on. But I've spent quite a bit of time mastering it and figuring out exactly what's going on with it, and I'd like to share that with you. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Paul James. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We've got some nice weather over here finally. It was an awful winter. But I've been doing internet marketing full-time now for about 4 years. And I specialize working with local marketing with business owners, just basically helping business owners get more customers online. So I've had a lot of fun doing that. I like that it's, I'm providing a lot of value to the business owners and helping people out who are, in distressed times with their business. So I really like that aspect of it. But I'd like to share with you kind of how I got into this, and how fast things really moved for me. Actually, about 4 years ago, this is what I was driving. It was a '93 Nissan Maxima. It barely got me from point A to point B. And I was living in my brother's garage. So I literally started from nothing. I really had no experience or anything like that. But how I got started in local business is because when I was about 15, I got a job at an HVAC shop in my area. And for those who don't know, HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And that's actually the exact picture of where I worked. I did the 7 to 5 shift. Most people do 9 to 5, but I had to be there a little bit early because the employees would come in, and when they would install furnaces, I'd have to have all their equipment ready for them for the day. But I got started there by cutting the grass and cleaning up the shop. And eventually, what happened was some of the employees would call in sick, and then they would need someone to help carry furnaces in the basement. So I got to go out and learn the ropes and help them out. And eventually, I started doing training. I was doing these PVC pipes that you see on top of the furnace and crafting the sheet metal and all of that good stuff. And from there, I worked my way up even further into the office. I was doing accounts payable at one time, accounts receivable, dispatching. I mean, pretty much everything. I was really moving around. So I developed a passion for local business, and that's really where it started at. Now, here in Wisconsin, we're used to getting slow seasons. In the spring and fall, it's really not hot enough to where you need to use the air conditioner, and it's not cold enough yet to use the furnace. So I would get laid off, and that was normal. But this time, business was just awful. I mean, it was just so slow, and I didn't know what I was going to do. They laid me off permanently, and I needed to figure something out. So I started talking to friends, family, asking them, what do you think I should do? Because I've got to figure something out. So they all recommended I go and get, a college education and, get some training for something else. So I thought about it and I settled on nursing school actually. And I did that because I liked science a lot. So I thought I would enjoy, the science behind it. And I thought I could get it done in a pretty short amount of time. I figured I could get an associate's degree in 2 years and hopefully be making some pretty good money doing it. So in the meantime, I was going to school full time for nursing. My passion is what kept me going, which was music. I was in a band, and that's me actually on the left playing guitar. And I also sang and did keys too, keyboard. And that's what kept me going. But then Destiny came calling. I was online promoting my band. And by the way, during that time, I worked at Walmart part time. I was going to school full time and then working at Walmart. So, but then Destiny came calling. I was online promoting my band like I normally am, and all of a sudden I saw a Make Money Online ad pop up, and I was not looking for this. I hadn't really had any experience in it, and I was a little bit skeptical of it, but I figured, why not? I'm going to take a chance on this. I figured it made sense that you could make money online. The internet's a powerful thing. And I figured I'm going to take the chance on this because at this point I had already racked up about $35,000 in debt going to school. And I figured what's another $67 per month I'll just put on a credit card and hope that it works out. So in short, this course was about creating little one-page blogs and ranking them in Google and monetizing them with things like affiliate offers and AdSense ads. So that's what I did. And I actually started off by picking a topic that I was doing in school for my first one. And that was anatomy and physiology, which is basically just the study of the human body. It was a lot of memorization, like bones and stuff like that, and muscles. So what I did was I made a site that basically helped educate people on that stuff. And I sold little flashcards on that site. It was a ClickBank product. And that really took off, actually. I still make money on that site to this day, and it pretty much runs on autopilot. But it fueled me to do something else. I thought, the creative musician inside of me came out and said, what if I could do this same thing and rank a site on Google, but do it for local businesses who are struggling? Because I thought back to the heating and air conditioning company. So I went back to the heating and air conditioning company and I said, look, I've got this new thing that I think could work really, really great for you. And I'm asking that you give me a chance, let me test it out. And you don't have to pay anything for it right now, but if it works out, we can work something out later. So that's what we did. We had a deal. And to make a long story short, they saw some huge growth from what I did. The phone was ringing off the hook. They hired new employees, bought some new trucks, new equipment, all that good stuff. And I knew that I was onto something here. And this is when I came to a turning point. I knew I had three options. Well, as I saw it, I had three options at the time. Option number one was I could keep, finishing nursing school. And this was exactly about four years ago. I could finish nursing school. I could, graduate, and then I'd probably face my next struggle, which was getting a job, which the economy was horrible for jobs for nurses around my area at that time. So I wasn't sure about that. I was only a semester and a half away from graduating. So that's where I was at with that. Option number two was I could keep pursuing the music thing and, hope that one day I became a famous rock star. I was out doing tours and stuff when I could. So there was that on the back burner. And then option number three, which was local marketing. I thought I could go and take on more clients. And obviously, I'm here on this webinar today. So you can guess what option I took. I took option number three. I went the route of local marketing, and I've seen some massive growth because of it. Actually, my first client I took on was a dentist after that heating company. And man, I was really, really nervous, really scared, but it went really well. And we just saw some huge growth in their business. So that was awesome. And I continued to grow from there. Within 3 years, I was able to buy a new house, move out of the garage. I was able to trade in the car for a nicer car. And I'm not showing you this stuff to brag or anything. I just want you to realize what's possible when you set your mind to this. And when you apply what I'm going to share with you on this call, there's a good chance that you're going to move fast too, just like I did. And,
You know what, Paul, I just want to break in for a second.
Sure.
For those people that are coming in here too, it's also nice to know. I mean, I never take this kind of stuff as bragging. It's just nice to know that the person that is talking to you right now is successful, right? Nobody wants to go and try to learn how to get fit from somebody who's overweight. Nobody wants to learn how to make money from somebody who has none. So, I don't feel like you're bragging at all, and I think everybody here understands. We're really excited to get to the meat of this, great job so far.
Awesome, cool. So let's talk about why maps. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. This is all from Maps Marketing. I call it Maps because, Google keeps changing the name. Google Places, Google Plus Local. It's now actually called Google My Business. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's the new name for it as of 2014. And these are just some interesting stats. You might want to write these down to use as sales tools when you're talking to business owners. 85% of consumers search for local businesses online. This is a good stat. 90% of consumers say their buying decisions and are based on reviews. So just kind of some cool stuff, but quite honestly, it's just the best lead generator I've ever seen. It's like word of mouth on steroids. It also shows up on mobile, which is huge. Google said in 2012 that 50% of mobile searches were for local places of interest, which is exactly what we're working with, which is really, really huge. And quite honestly, for you, here's the big benefit. It's big money. On average, this is what I'm charging my clients nowadays. I charge them a $1,500 setup fee to get everything set up, and then I charge them $1,000 per month to maintain that listing and keep them on the first page. And if you add that up, roughly that's 8 clients per year will get you to that 6-figure mark. So who's ready to get started? I'm going to jump in and I'm going to actually show you how to do this stuff now. I want to see a bunch of yeses in the chat box if you're ready to learn what we're going to do here.
Oh yeah, everybody's excited.
Okay, cool. So I need to address one rule. This is one address rule you have to follow. It's been this way for a few years, so it's probably familiar to some of you who have, experienced places. But you cannot use a P.O. box, okay? I repeat, you cannot use a P.O. box for this. So you need a real physical address. Okay, so now that we know that, let's jump into it. I'm going to pull open my internet browser here, and I'm going to show you this. So I normally take my clients and put them on separate Gmail accounts. So just to keep things nice and organized, I don't want a bunch of accounts attached to my personal email. So that's why I do that. Now, I'm going to open up an incognito window here because if I go to this link from being logged into my account, it's going to take me to my listing that's already set up. But what you want to do when you're starting out is you want to go to google.com/mybusiness. And this is the new screen that you're going to see now because they changed the name. So I'm going to put that in the chat box for you. Again, that's google.com/mybusiness. So I'm punching that in right now for you. So again, if you're logged into an account that already has a listing attached to it, you're going to be taken to a different page. So do this from a fresh Gmail account when you're working with a new client. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like when I log in from my Gmail account. Okay, so it's taking me to my dashboard. But if I come up here and hit create a new page, this is what you guys will see when you actually hit that button that says get on Google, where I showed you in the incognito window. So this is where you're going to start to decide, what type of business are they? And it's almost always going to be these two options. Either they're a storefront, meaning they're like a retail store, like a clothing store or a restaurant or a hotel, or they're a service area, like, plumbers, florists, like it says taxi service. So decide which company you're working with, pick one, and then you're going to be taken to this screen. It's a big map, and this is where we're going to start off by doing some research to find out if they have a listing, if they don't have a listing, if their listing's been claimed, if they have one, or not. So we need to figure all that out, and if they have duplicates. So I'm going to give you some different scenarios and show you what those look like. Let's start off with a listing when they have it created already, but it's just not verified. So I'm just going to punch in a phone number. I did some research on businesses before I hopped on here so that I could show you some examples. Now, I have no connection with these businesses I'm going to show you. These are just random people I found, so don't go calling them or anything. But if I punch in the phone number and you see it pops up like this, so I'm going to select that. Let's say that was my client. Now notice this. They're going to say, okay, we're going to create a Google Plus page. They're just confirming this is your page. They want to make sure that that's actually your business. So don't go and do this, but I'm going to do it just so you can see, for example, what would happen. Again, this isn't my client, but it's going to say now that it's creating the Google Plus page, but it's going to have us verify the listing because this one is not verified. So here's what happens. When the listing is already pre-populated in Google, like you just saw, and this happens because when Google first created the platform, what they did was they just went and found all of the business owners out there that they could, from probably like Yellow Pages and stuff like that, and they just scraped the data and put it in, knowing that eventually their platform would blow up and businesses would start claiming their listings. So what you see here is two options. You need to verify the business to show Google that you're the owner. And nowadays, when the listing is already created for you, you're able to get the phone verification, which means they're going to call you on the phone. They're going to give you a PIN number, and then you enter that PIN number in and you're verified. And that's simple. But when you're creating a listing from scratch, which I'm going to show you how to do, it's never been in there and you have to enter in the information, you're almost always going to have to do mail verification, which is where, they send you a postcard in the mail and then you follow the directions. So that's the process of actually going and verifying the listing. And if I were to click on this, you can see it's going to show what the postcard looks like. And if I needed to, I could punch in the business owner's information and it'll, go to attention Bob, and I can hit send postcard. Now, like it says, this takes 1 to 2 weeks. I normally notice it takes even longer than that. I've seen it go as far out as 2 to 3 weeks. So, just don't be alarmed if it's taking a little longer. So what I do when I work with clients is I just give them a heads up. I say, hey, Google's going to be sending you a postcard. Watch for it. And when it comes through, I want you to just call me up with that PIN number, and then I'll handle it from there. So that's scenario number one. Let me go back now and show you some other scenarios that we'll come across. Okay, so in this scenario, this business owner has already claimed the listing, and we just need to request access over it. So you're given the same prompts here. It shows the business information. We'll click it, but this is what's different. Someone else has already verified this listing. So all you need to do in this scenario is hit the request admin rights button, and you let the business owner know that they're going to get an email from Google that someone's trying to request admin over their listing, and they just need to click the verification link inside the email, and you'll have access to edit everything. So pretty straightforward and easy on that front of it. So that's what you do if they're already verified. And then last but not least, this is a common one. This is probably one you'll see most often, is you're working with business owners who have never had a listing. So it finds nothing. So we're going to click this arrow here. And this is where we can start to enter in the business information. So I'll just say this is Bob's HVAC. And I'm going to punch in the street address. Again, what was the number one rule of street addresses? I want to make sure everyone understands that. Go ahead and throw it in the chat box. Number one rule with addresses with Google My Business. Yes, real address, only PO box, or no PO boxes. Yeah, do not use PO boxes. So if you are at like a suite number, for example, like there's lots of lawyers and dentists who work out of the same building, you can either spell out the whole word suite on the next line and then put it in like this, or you can just put the number sign. So that's how you'd handle that. I'm going to leave that field blank. Enter in the city. I'm going to enter in the state and the zip code. And then the phone number. Now, I normally use tracking phone numbers because I want to be able to provide a call report should they ever question if what I'm doing is working. I want to be able to prove that. And it doesn't matter what call tracking you use. If you already have something, use whatever you use. If you don't have call tracking set up for your client yet, you can just enter in their phone number and then you can go back and switch this later. That's not a problem. But I use CallFire for call tracking, and I just like them. They're, pretty affordable. I think it's $1 per month and $3 to set the number up. And that's just what I prefer to use. Now, I recommend no matter which tracking service you use, before you actually purchase a number, you make sure that you find one, with your area code, obviously. So if 414 was my area code, I would want to go after a tracking number with that area code if possible. But you know how phone numbers also have the first 3 digits? Those first 3 digits in the phone number are actually, there's a location attached to that. So here's what I like to do to make sure I'm picking out one that's in, a location near where I'm working.
Yeah, for those of you that are asking, Hot Prospector can do the call tracking instead of CallFire. So you don't have to use CallFire. If you already have Hot Prospector, you could just go ahead and get a number from inside your Hot Prospector account and set up an inbound campaign there.
Awesome.
Sorry, just wanted to throw that out there for all of our Hot Prospector users.
Definitely. I have a question too, Mark. Does Hot Prospector let you choose the area code and all that good stuff?
Yes. Yeah, you could choose the area code. You could even do an 800 number if you want.
Cool. Awesome. So, if you're questioning the area code, I normally just go on the city's website that I'm working in, and I'll just look and find out, what it is. It's normally under the departments tab, under like administration, and you'll be able to pick out, what that actual phone number is and what area you're looking for. So if you ever question that, that's how you find out. But yeah, if you guys have Hot Prospector, that's definitely what you want to use. But for those who don't have anything, then maybe CallFire is a good option for you. So entirely up to you. I don't focus on, the details of what you use. There's plenty of tools out there. Just use whatever you have. So awesome. So that covers phone numbers. Now, the next section is category. Now, this is what's changed a lot from Google Places. For those of you who did Google Places back in the day, this is going to look a lot different, because who remembers picking out your own categories? We would make up keywords, right? And the keywords could be, whatever we want. Like in this case, I might do HVAC Milwaukee or something like that. We can't do that anymore. Google has predetermined categories for you. So I like to start off by doing what I call category research before I even verify the listing in most cases, just because I want to find out what the categories are. That way I can work on the website while I wait for the postcard to come and I have something to work on. So here's how I do category research. If I'm working with an HVAC company, I'm just going to start by typing in phrases that I think people would type into Google. So I'm going to start by typing in HVAC to start with. And you can look, I've only typed in HVAC, and I'm presented with a drop-down menu. And on this drop-down menu, I have HVAC contractor that pops up. And this might give you a list of 5 different things. So what you want to do is just take out a notepad and write down every single category that falls under what the business owner that you're working with does. So everyone that makes sense. So I would write down HVAC contractor in this scenario. Let's try heating. Okay, so I'm presented with heating contractor, heating equipment supplier, heating oil supplier. So I would write down whichever ones fit. If there's 2 of them that fit, I'm going to write down 2 of them. If there's only one, I'm only going to write down 1. So I'll write down heating contractor. Let's do air conditioning. Okay, I didn't even finish typing it in, and I've got air conditioning contractor and air conditioning repair service, both which fit pretty closely to what I'm doing. So I'll write down both of those on a notepad. And then let's do furnace. Okay, furnace part supplier, furnace repair service, and furnace store. So I'll write down whatever ones make sense. I'll just go with furnace repair service. So write those down. Pick out all your categories. You want to do this ahead of time because we're going to use that to build out the website. And it's very important that when you're building out the website, you structure it in a certain way to reflect those categories. You want Google to have no question that you perform work in that certain category, because that's what's going to determine if you show up on the first page of Google in the 7-pack, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and just, they only let you pick one to start with, but once we verify the listing, we can come back in and add the rest in. So that's why it's important you write them all down. But just start with one. Then we have this option. I deliver goods and services to my customers at their location. So an HVAC company obviously is going out to people's houses, so we're going to check that. And then we'll hit continue. Okay, so now we've got this next option. You can select which areas you deliver your goods and services to. I can either do that by typing in individual zip codes in here and adding them in. I could just keep typing them. Or I can ask the business owner if they service a certain radius around their business. So let's just say 20 miles. Okay, and then there's this option. I also serve customers at my business address. So an HVAC company that might not apply to, they might not do that. I mean, most people aren't bringing in their furnaces to get serviced. But what about like a flower shop? I mean, they're going to be delivering flowers all over the city for funerals and weddings and stuff. But they're also going to have people coming in and picking out arrangements. So they might check both of these. So decide, which ones you have to check for your industry. And then you hit continue. And then we're going to get the same sort of screen just like we did before. We're going to start creating the Google Plus page, and then it's going to give us the verification options, which in this case should just be postcard because it's a new listing, and it is. Okay, so any questions on those scenarios? Before we move on to the next section, I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Those are the most common scenarios you're going to see when you're researching listings, and make sure you do that category research at that time. Okay, awesome. It looks like everyone's good so far. Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about the website structure. Now, I'm going to pull up this diagram here. I've messed around with a lot of website structures over the past few years while I was doing this. And this is the most recent one I'm using, and it works really, really well. So it's a silo structure. The way it is this is my homepage. And my homepage, I'm going to stick with my main Google Plus category. So maybe it's HVAC contractor in this example. So that would go there. And then followed by my silos, okay? And what these arrows signify are links off of the page. So let's say this category was heating contractor. This page is going to have a link going to heating contractor, linking back to it. So every arrow signifies a link going to the next page. So the tops of your silos are always going to have your Google Plus categories. And then if you have other keywords that you're interested in ranking for, you can put those directly underneath the silo that it fits under. So like if I wanted to also rank under air conditioning tune-ups, but I didn't have a category for it in Google, I could put that underneath the air conditioning repair service category. I wouldn't want to put it under furnace repair service because air conditioning tune-up should be under air conditioning. So does that make sense? Structure your keywords so that they fit under the Google Plus category that makes the most sense. Okay, so I'll show you how I go about picking out keywords. I'll just give you a quick overview of the keyword research, and just in case some of you are already familiar with it. So I just use the keyword planner. It's the free tool inside of AdWords, so adwords.google.com. And I just pop in here and I start by typing in my Google Plus categories. So I'm going to go with HVAC contractor, heating contractor. These are the ones we researched back over here, remember? So I'm starting off with those. I'll go with air conditioning contractor. Furnace repair service was one of them. And air conditioning repair service. In addition to that, I'm also going to start typing in keywords that I think people might be interested in if they were to be looking for a company that does this kind of work. So I'm just going to go with my gut instinct here, and then we'll do further research to determine what are good keywords and what aren't. So let's go with, I think heating companies would be something people would type in. Maybe HVAC contractors. I think I had that as a category, actually. So we'll go with companies. Heating and cooling, that's probably something people would type in, along with heating and air conditioning. And I would just keep going with as many as I can think of. Okay, now I'm going to come down to targeting, and we're going to select all locations, and I'm going to hit the pencil icon here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by typing in the location I'm targeting. So we'll go with Milwaukee, WI. It should pop up here. It's running a little bit slow. Normally it pops up right away. Let me click off of it and try it again. Okay, well, I'll let that load for a second, and I'm going to go through questions really quick, just to see if there are any. If it doesn't load, then I'll just kind of explain. Okay, I'm just going through questions here. Okay, I'll show you. A lot of people are asking about the silo structure, so I'm going to show you one that I actually did, just to show you what it looks like. Pull it up here. So here's an example of one that I went and I just typed out on a piece of paper, or wrote out on a piece of paper, because I couldn't fit it all in here. So you can just draw these out on paper. I mean, it's not a big deal. So in the heating example, this is my home page, HVAC contractor Milwaukee. These are my categories. All of this top row are categories. And then these bottom pages are pages that I researched and picked out as keywords that we thought we would be interested in going after. Now, the reason why this silo is so powerful is because of the way link juice flows through the site. You know, if I backlink this page here, the link juice instantly flows straight through to my category pages, which is what we want to put the most stress on when we're trying to rank a Google Plus local listing, because Google wants to see that we're relevant for those categories. So that's what I mean by passing link juice on. Same goes for here. I mean, even if I were to send a link to Heating and Cooling Milwaukee to this page, these are all separate pages on my site, by the way. If I were to send a link to this page, the link juice would immediately go to this page, and then it bounces straight back up to the category page. So it's all connected. No matter where I send a backlink, it's going to flow back through out the entire site. Does that make sense, everyone? And I mean, the same goes with citations, which we'll talk about. Okay, cool. So I don't know if this finished loading yet. Doesn't look like it did. But I'll search without it once. I'm just going to punch the locations in on the end of the keyword, since I can't pull up the targeting on the location for some reason. It's being slow right now. So we'll see if we get an accurate search. I'm not sure if we will, but I think we should. Okay, let's hit get ideas. So right now it's targeting all locations, but normally I would go in there and punch in different ones. So yeah, I don't know. I'm experiencing some connectivity problems. Tongue twister. All right. So Anyways, what I would do is I would go through the keywords and I would look for the monthly search volume, right? I want to see how many monthly searches it gets. And then on the flip side, I also want to see what the cost per click is. So you'll see a separate column. And what that means is if someone were to go into Google and type in heating and cooling, and they were from my area, you see these ads up here and ads over here. If they were to go into Google and type that in and someone were to click this ad, it means that they would be billed that cost per click. So Google's keyword planner will actually show you what people are paying approximately per click. So I know if someone's bidding on heating and cooling and it's got, let's say, an $8 cost per click, I know that this must be a pretty good keyword because people wouldn't be bidding on it and spending all of that money for just a click if it wasn't a good keyword, right? Okay, cool. So let's talk about citations. We talked a little bit about backlinks and as far as the way the site is structured that way. But citations are really important when it comes to Google Plus local listings. Now, a citation is basically the name of the listing, which I'm highlighting right here, the address, and the phone number. And citations for Google Plus local are kind of, Google considers them like backlinks. So if you have your name, address, and phone number on another website, Google considers that basically like a backlink for your listing. So you want to get as many citations as you can, but not only that, you want to find out what your competitors' citations are, because chances are if they're ranking having 40 of a certain type of citation, if you go after like, let's say 42 or 43, man, you're going to be in good hands because you're going to outdo them. So there's a tool I use to find these out. I use WhiteSpark. I'll put this in the chat box for you. Okay, so that's in the chat box. They charge you like $20 a month, I think, for this service, but it's well worth it if you start taking on clients for this because you're able to reverse engineer exactly what they're doing. So I went in here and I punched in HVAC contractor Waukesha, which is a city near me, because I wanted to see, number one was, let me go back. Number one, who's ranking on the first page. So it shows me who the number one is, number two, number three, number four, and number five. But I can go even deeper. I can find out how many citations they have. So number one has 41 citations. Number two has 39. Number three has 54. So they have a few more than number one, but it might be that number one just has higher authority citations than number three. But for the most part, it is ranked in order. I mean, this is the second most citation. So what I would want to do is I'm going to go and take a look at maybe the top one or two people on the 7-pack, and I'm going to hit View Sources on this WhiteSpark tool, and check this out. It's going to show me exactly which citations they have, exactly all of them. And then I can go on these sites. Like, for example, I could go on showmelocal.com, and I can create a citation for the company I'm working with, right? And I can even export this as a CSV file. So you want to go after these. And in addition to going after these, you want to go after just a few more. You know, if these guys are ranking number one, they have 40. I want to go after 42 or 43 of them. Awesome. Allison says, awesome tool. Kathy says, do directories count as a citation? They do. As long as it has the name, address, and phone number on the site, that is a citation. Okay, Valerie is asking if I use any tools to create the citations. Now, I'm going to show you an outsourcer I use because obviously if I had to go through and create 41 citations, that's a lot of work. And I mean, of course you can do it if you're on a budget, but I have an outsourcer I use and I'm willing to share her with you. She does really good work and I've been recommending her.
And stick around to the end because I have a tool that you can use to automate all of the citation building. So
awesome.
Paul doesn't know about it, but I'll show it to you guys in just a sec. So hang on till the end, and I'll show you.
Cool. I'm excited to see that as well. So we'll hold on for Mark on that. But this is the outsourcer I use. I'll give you a link. Hopefully you won't even need to use her because you'll have Mark's awesome tool. But put it in there just in case you want to check it out. It's she only does 7 listings for $5, but she has an upgrade here, which is 45 listings in all for $20. So it'll cost you $25 to get that done. And that's kind of cool. So that's who I use if you want to check it out. And I'm excited to see what Mark has up his sleeve with that tool. That's going to be awesome. Okay, so that covers that. Citations are important. They're like backlinks, and it's important that we do that. Now, let's talk about listing optimization once the listing is actually created. Most of the optimization you're going to be doing is coming in with the website, okay? So to be clear, this is very important that you structure your website in this fashion and that you interlink the pages together. So links going out to other pages. So for example, on the HVAC contractor page, I'm going to have a link going to the heating contractor page, the air conditioning contractor page, the air conditioning repair service page, and the furnace repair service page. So that work that we do on the website is going to attribute to why we rank. But in addition to that, we need to make sure our listing is optimized. So I'm going to go into my listing here and I'm going to hit edit on it. And the goal here is to get this number up here at the top to 100% completed. Okay? You want this to be 100% completed. So come in here if you need to switch your tracking phone number. After you pick it up through Hot Prospector, you can go and throw in your tracking phone number there. Connect your website up. You can come into the categories. You can add another category, load in all of your categories there. Add in your hours. They let you do different sets of hours. So if they have different hours on the weekends, you can select that. This company is 24 hours that I set up here. So I have it from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. You can upload photos. Now here's my rule with photos. You want to go and you want to look at the competition again. So if I go to the competition, Google's acting really funny today, not pulling up stuff. There we go. So if I go to the competition, and these guys don't have any photos. All they have is this profile photo. But if I went in here and they had, let's say, 10 photos on their listing, then I would want to come in and add in 10 photos, probably more, 11 or 12. I want to outdo them by 1 or 2. Okay, so that I'm overly optimized. Let me see if I can find a better example. Let's try this dentist page. So here's the photos tab. So I can see they have 5 photos, 2 here and 3 here. So if I were trying to rank as a dentist in West Bend, Wisconsin, I would want to go after 6 or 7 photos. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Introduction. This is an introduction to your company. Throw some keywords in there. Don't make it look spammy. Don't keyword stuff, but if you can write a couple paragraphs and include some of your keywords in there, you're going to be in good shape with that. So try to do that as well. Okay, now I want to come back to these listings here. So if we were to look at this page right here, and this is the Google Plus local listings, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them put right here because we just see amazing conversions. But let's say, theoretically, I was looking for a dentist and I came in here. I'm from West Bend. That's why it's popping up this location. Without me even having to type in West Bend, I just typed in dentist. Let's say I was looking for a dentist. Which one of these people would you consider calling? And you might consider more than one of them, but let me know. You can just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 or 7 because there's 7 of them here. But let me know which one you guys would pick. Okay, so everyone's saying 2 and 3. Okay, everyone is. So a lot of people, sometimes they think right off the bat, they say, well, I don't know, don't I have to be number 1? Don't I have to be like right here, West Bend Dental Center? That's not the case. You just have to get them in this listings and you have to get them a star rating because most listings look like this. There's 1 or 2 people on the page that have star listings and the rest don't. And quite honestly, these 2 people are going to be getting 95% of the calls that come in because they stand out. Your eyes naturally go to them, right? So that's what you want to do. And I believe nowadays it's taking 5. And it depends. It's different depending on what city you're in and what industry you're in. It could be 10 reviews, but in most cases I'm seeing it's 5 reviews is what it takes to get this star rating to pop up. So that's what you want to do. Get your client to get their friends, their family to at least get 5 reviews on there. And if you come on here and you see that people on the homepage have like, I don't know, let's say everyone here has like 6 reviews, then you want to get like 7 or 8, right? We're just trying to outdo them by 1 or 2. Does that make sense? Everything that you do, you want to compare. Even go in and look at their categories. make sure that you're not missing out on any categories. You can do that by going to the About tab. And then the categories are right here. You can click on them and it'll expand this little menu here. So if I'm a dentist who's trying to compete against these guys, I want to try to go after these categories if I can. I want to make sure I didn't miss out on those. Okay, any system for getting the reviews? I'll show you something for reviews. Okay, do we have any questions so far? I'm just going to go through the question box really quickly. Okay, Mike's asking, how do you handle tracking calls when the client has their main number? So you want to swap it out. You want to swap the tracking number out because number one, they're not going to want to, they're not going to want to just go blind and not know what you're doing. You want to be able to prove that, hey, I sent you 35 calls this month. What I'm doing for you is working, and they're going to want to continue paying you. So if a client is really that resistant to using a tracking number, I normally will just pass on them as a client, honestly, because you don't want to do all this work and then, you're not able to prove what you're doing. I mean, that's just not cool, right? Okay. Sue's asking, what if they have previous citations? If they do, then you're going to want to go in those previous citations and claim them and swap out the number. Okay. Andy says, where can I buy?
Mustafa has a good question. What happens? Can you answer this question from Mustafa?
Yeah.
What happens if they're already listed or claimed with a different phone number? Do we just replace that number with our tracking number?
Yeah, exactly. So you want to go in and claim that citation. And I'll show you what citations look like really quick. Let me just copy and paste. I'll copy and paste this phone number. I should be able to find some citations here. Let's take the here, let's just go with Merchant Circle. Okay, so there usually is a link. I'm trying to look, I don't see it here. There usually is a link that says, is this your business, or something of that nature. And I'm guessing because they already have an account, we're not seeing that. So let me go after another one. I want you guys to see what this looks like. Let's try this West Bend Dental Center. They're not optimized, so they probably didn't claim any citations, right? So I'm just putting it in quotations, their phone number. Okay, right here. This is what we're looking for. Is this your business? Claim your business. So this is what you're looking for, and you just click it. You'll create an account, and you'll be able to change the phone number or any other information you need to change. All right, cool. Any other questions you see out there, Mark, that are good questions to answer? Just going to keep looking here. Okay, Dale's asking a good question. If you're charging $1,000 per month for keeping them ranked, are you getting them to sign a contract, or what do you do if they suddenly decide to drop you? So when I work with a new client, this is what I almost always prefer to do. I almost always prefer to start a brand new website for a few different reasons. Number one is because they might have penalties on their existing website. They might have had bad SEO on it or something, and I'd rather just start fresh and not deal with that. Number two is I want to do a lot of stuff with this website structure, right? So a lot of people don't feel comfortable with you going in and adding in all these pages and stuff. So, I mean, they already have their existing website that they had built, and some people are pretty picky about that. So it's almost easier to just build out a new website. And here's the third reason, and the most important. When I pick out a new website domain name, let's say they were, West Bend Dental Center or whatever this was, I might just create a new domain name, and instead of westbenddental.com, I might just call it like dentalprofessionals.com or reliabledentistry.com or something like that. I create a generic domain name. I still can brand the site to their company name, can put in their logo and their pictures and all that good stuff. But here's the thing. I'm going to lease that website to them for $1,000 per month. So if they decide to suddenly drop me, this is how easy it is. I come in, I hit edit, and I swap out this website. Bam, done. My website's disconnected from them. And in turn, they're going to drop ranking because our website structure is what's boosting it up so high. So all the work we did on the website's not going to go to waste. But let's be realistic. I mean, if you're getting 30 to 50 phone calls coming in every single month, and we're increasing your business, to stop those calls from coming in is going to be like having to chop your own arm off, right? It's such a valuable service that we're providing for them. So does that make sense, everyone? Charles says that he likes that. Awesome. Okay, Jim says you should work with only one business in each business category. So that's up to you. I prefer personally not to compete with myself. If I work with one dentist in Waukesha, I'll normally just stick with one dentist in Waukesha. That doesn't mean I can't go around to the neighboring cities like Brookfield or Milwaukee or, and work with dentists in those cities. But yeah, I normally like to give exclusivity just in that niche, in that city alone. Not the whole county, just the city. Does that make sense? Awesome. No, James, I don't hijack their Google Plus listing at all. Their listing is their listing. All I'm doing is disconnecting my website from it and my tracking phone number. So they own they own the listing. I mean, well, Google owns it technically, but it's their listing. So they can do what they want with it, but it's my website. So I'm going to take it off. Awesome. Lots of people saying they love that. Okay. Just going through more questions. George is saying, what about pay per call? You could definitely charge on a per call basis. I just prefer to charge, $1,000 per month or whatever I see fit. I mean, if they're not getting as many calls as I expect, then maybe I'll drop it down to $500 a month. But I really like to have a number that I can count on every single month because that's recurring income for me every month that I can count on. So, I mean, how you charge is completely up to you. Feel free to use your own gut instinct on that and what you feel comfortable with. Okay, is every box on your flowchart a separate web page? It is. It's a separate page on my site. So every single box you see here is a separate page, and you should put on that page roughly a 300 to 500 word article and optimize it for that keyword. Don't go crazy in keyword stuff. I really don't make a big deal about keyword density. If I can fit my keyword in there 5 times and it sounds good, that's cool. If I can only fit it in once and it sounds good, that's cool too. With Google's updates, I'm finding content is king. You got to have good readable content that makes the visitor want to read it. So that's what's most important. And that's what you should focus on. Okay, just going through more questions. Got a lot of questions coming in. How do you make a client show up for multiple areas? You get separate addresses. So if they want to show up, in a different city, then you want to have a different address in that city. Mike, yeah, we do focus on the Google Plus page. That's what we're doing over here when we're editing all this information. We want this to be 100% complete. Okay, I see a lot of people asking questions about how much the program is. So I'll get into talking about Maps Mentor if that's cool with you, Mark. And I'll show you kind of what's going on with that and what's included with it. And then I'll continue to ask questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and get it.
Cool. And feel free to, if you have questions as I'm going along to ask. I'm totally cool with answering a lot of questions. So Maps Mentor I put together because a lot of people were struggling with Google Places when they switched the name, and there really was no up-to-date training. All the training I could find out there for it was old. And I spent a long time. I had a client at the time. I still have them, but at the time I had just picked them up, and I had to do 70 listings for them. Okay, they had 70 listings that I had to do around the United States. So it was right in the midst of this update, and I was like, man, what am I going to do? This stuff just isn't working. So I used that opportunity to perfect this strategy, and it took me a couple of months to really, get this strategy in stone and really make it work. So what you're seeing is a result of a lot of hard work, and I decided to record the process on video along the way and put it into a training membership. I figured I could use it to train my virtual assistants and my customers. So that's what I did. I mean, there's 24 modules here, and it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's just jam-packed with content. They're straight to the point videos. They're not long and lengthy. If you want to learn about one specific thing, maybe you already know how to create the listing, so you don't want to view that video. Well, cool, you can jump right into structuring the website. And the cool part is I assume that you know nothing. So if you know how to set up a website already, you can watch this video and just get the basic gist of setting up the website with this structure. But if you've never set up WordPress before and you've never set up a domain before, well, then I've got you covered and you can go in a little bit more in depth and you can watch more tutorials on stuff like that. So I really wanted to make it so that the advanced person could come in, still get the training they need without having to go through the beginner stuff, but that the beginner would still be able to jump in and adapt too. So that's what you're going to get with it. I mean, it's jam-packed, but by far the most valuable thing in this training is the members forum. And I saw we had a couple members of the forum in the chat box earlier. So we've had a couple people in here already that are members. And as you can see, I mean, this 889 posts are jammed into here. So a lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, it's just jam-packed. You can come in here and you can ask questions. You can mastermind with people who are doing this every day. There's selling and prospecting techniques, how people are landing clients. In the tips and tricks section the other day, I saw someone posted a link to get in touch with Google within 30 seconds, a phone call from Google in 30 seconds. So if you're ever having problems with your listings, you know, that's a good resource to have. So you're going to get all of that. In addition, I want to hook you up with the website template that I use. It's a WordPress theme, and this is kind of what it looks like here. It hooks into Google Plus Local, which is really cool. So you can have your badge here. It's got the map thing. And most importantly, it's mobile responsive because Google Plus Local shows up on mobile devices. So I'm going to hook you guys up with a bonus when you decide to pick this up today. And I'm going to throw this in. I mean, I actually sell this on its own for $79. This is a sales page for it. So, I mean, you could literally go and buy that for $79, but I'm going to throw it in for free just because I want to give you guys extra value. But it's really cool. It's mobile responsive. You know, it's going to look good at any resolution. That turns into a tap to call button, which is cool. So it's really awesome. It looks good. The other thing is people were asking about reviews. So I'm also going to throw in some bonuses to handle the reviews. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of review portals before, but it's something that I've been using in my business for the past few years that have really worked out great. The thing is we don't want to be marketing a business with a bad reputation because the star rating shows up in Google Plus Local. So we want to make sure that they have only good reviews going in there. So what we do is we set up these review portals for our clients. And basically, instead of directing them straight to the Google Plus page to leave their review, we direct them to a separate website where this page is set up. And when they come to the website, they're asked if they had a great or a bad experience. Now, if they hit they had a great experience, we're going to send them back over to the Google Plus page. Or, I mean, theoretically, you could use Yelp or whatever site needs the help. But in this case, we're going to send them back over to the Google Plus page to leave their review. If they say they had a bad experience, though, we're not going to send them there. We're going to send them to a contact form. In the contact form, you can set up to ask whatever questions you want. Like a restaurant might ask, well, how was your hostess? How was your waitress? How was your meal? You know, and do you have any comments for us? But instead of posting that review live to Google Plus, we're going to send that review off to the business owner. And then the business owner can choose to deal with it however they want. You know, maybe they didn't know that they had a rude waitress or something like that. So I'm also going to throw in these. There's two designs. You can set them up and customize them to however you want, but they work out really killer for Google Plus Local. So here's the deal, and I know Mark's got some cool stuff he's going to share with you too, but I'm going to give those bonuses to the first 25 action takers. So if you decide to pick this up, this is the link, and it's only for people who are buying through Mark. And actually, you can't even buy this anywhere else. I'll just get that out of the way right away too. This is private invitation because I'm running a members forum and a community here. I can only let in so many people at a time. So it is private access, and you just can't buy it anywhere else. I mean, it's not available. You can go to the website, you won't be able to buy it. So you have to go through Mark's link. This is something I'm doing special for Mark because he asked me to. And this is what we're going to do for the first 25 action takers. You're going to get access to that theme. You're going to get access to the review portal. So huge value there. Now the price on this is just one payment. You know, you get lifetime access to the community, but you're going to get that for just one payment of $149. So I've kept it affordable for you guys. I want everyone to be able to take action on this without having to break the bank. You know, I remember I was starting off one day, 4 years ago, and I didn't have a lot of money at the time. So I know what that's like, and I want you guys to be able to hop in on this. So I don't know, if, Mark, are you ready to share
Yeah,
about? Yeah,
yeah, I'm
go
going to
ahead.
show a couple things here for everybody, but let me just say something about this. The big thing that I love about this, obviously, the training is awesome, and the bonuses that you're giving is awesome. But if you want to stay up on things and how things are changing, you need to be part of a group of people that are actually doing it every day. And I think that the bonus or the I'm sorry, the forum is probably my favorite part of the whole thing because you can leverage off of other people's mistakes or other people's experience, and that definitely goes a long way. I mean, what kind of activity do you see inside your forum every day?
Oh man, we just see crazy stuff. Like I was saying, people just share the most useful things. I mean, like I was saying, the Google support contact was one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time in there because it's just like, man, to be able to get in touch with Google. I mean, do you know how hard that is to have to get to talk to a representative on the phone? I mean, that's just huge. So people are
Right.
sharing stuff like that. They're sharing their client getting techniques because I mean, there's people out there who are doing thousands of dollars every month with this. I had someone who came on the last webinar that we did a few months ago. His name was John, and he was telling me that he got his first client within 3 weeks of going through the program, and now he's continuing to go on to get about a client per week. So people like John
Wow.
are inside the forum sharing how they're doing that, and I just think that's so
Awesome.
cool.
Well, let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen for just a second. Did you paste that link in there? Let me go ahead and do that.
I did, yeah. I can paste
Oh,
it in
you
again
did.
for you though if you want to
Oh,
go ahead and show
no,
them.
everybody can see it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swap screens, and I'm gonna show you guys a couple of bonuses that I have. Well, actually, I have a bonus, but I also have something else really cool I'm gonna share with everybody here, just because. Let me just make myself presenter. There we go. Awesome. So you guys should be able to see my screen again, which is blank. I want to show you guys this theme here. Now, real quick, I've been trying to get into the back end. Literally, this is how fresh this is. This just came out uh, last night, hot off the presses. We've been working on it for a couple months, and I'm actually planning on giving this or selling this theme in a couple of probably another month or so. But for anybody that jumps in, you're going to get this theme for your as a bonus. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about this. I was trying to get in the back end so I can show you how this customizes, but this theme is slick. Okay, basically what you've got here is the headers, all of the places where you see colors, like the footers, the headers. All of these different segments, they can all be changed. Colors can be changed on the text. You can actually change all of the images. You can change the menu bars, the phone number, all the links for all of your social icons, everything. There's also places to add videos on the front and a testimonial slider on the front here of this site. Now, this theme is also mobile responsive. Is responsive. It's not a two themes, as you can see. It is responsive based off of the um, size of the screen. So if you're on a tablet or if you're on a mobile phone or whatever, you can actually come in here and look at it how it should be on your phone, right? Now, this theme here alone could be something you could sell to a client for $1,500. Seriously. Oh, by the way, we've added graphic packs. So, for example, right now you're looking at this is a just like a general contractor or maybe like a carpenter graphic pack, but we have graphic packs for electricians. We have graphic packs for HVAC, for plumbers. Let me just see all of the graphics packs that we have here. We have I'm going to tell you exactly which ones, and we're adding more all the time. But this is a really awesome contractor theme. But if you want to use it for any type of business, you can, because you can customize all of the images. I wanted to show you how to do that, but I'm having trouble getting into the back end. Again, it's brand new. Let's see here. The graphic packs are almost there. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Do you want to do you want to sing a song for them? Well, okay, found it. Roofer, painter, HVAC, electrician, plumber, general contractor, kitchen bath remodeler, landscaping, and handyman. So this theme that you're looking at is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 themes and one. You could change all the colors, you could change all of the images, and like I said, we bought all the rights to these images, so they're all completely royalties are all taken care of, so you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for that. I paid extra money to get all of these high quality images. As far as other themes or other graphic packs down the line, we may add some, but right now, like I said, this is the ones you get. Again, I'll list them again. Roofer, painter, HVAC, electrician, plumber, general contractor, kitchen and bathroom remodeler, landscaping, and handyman. And check it out. It's a beautiful theme. Everything can be customized. There's like 3 or 4 different set color schemes where you just select the color scheme and it'll change the color of the navigation bar and that sort of thing. But you can also pick your own colors, and if you don't like the images that we've pre-selected in the graphic pack, you can come in and edit those as well. All of the posts and everything like that is really easy to edit. So I'm going to be, for anybody who gets this, this is going to be delivered manually, so you will have to go through support to get it. And just so you know, if you we're gonna deliver it, but it won't be delivered until probably tomorrow, because I've got to get an update back from my developers. I was trying to get it done for you guys today. There's just a small little, it's not a big deal, but it's a small little thing I want to change on the back end that has to do with the name of the theme and a couple other little things. But I'll deliver it over tomorrow. The other thing that I wanted to show everybody, besides this really awesome thing that we've been working on here for the past couple months, is how you can automate, and it should be black, guys, don't worry, I'm just getting a link here for you, how you can automate your citation building. Who wants to know how to automate your citation building? Yes? Yes, of course you do. Okay, so check it out. This is something you can sign up for free. This is called Local SEO Push, and I'm going to put it here inside of inside the chat here. Now you all want to sign up for this. Regardless, it's free, so you can get a free account. But check this out. Local SEO Push, what they do is they automatically integrate with all of these different networks that you see here, okay? These guys are on top of things when it comes to who they work with or who they integrate with. So you can see you've got Google, Bing, Yahoo, AOL, KGB, all of the normal directories, but then they also have some extras that nobody else has, like Apple and just several that you can't even get into unless you're using their system. This literally, their direct feed. Look at this list of partners, and I know, Paul, you're probably thinking, you've done this for a while. What do you think of that? It's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. That's something I'm definitely going to be signing up for.
Yeah, the list on this is ridiculous, right? You've got all of these different providers. Everybody who's on this webinar, definitely sign up for free, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. So the link is dropped in there. It's localseopush.com/mh. Make sure you use my little link there, because it's going to get you in. They've changed some things on the back end, so you want to make sure that you use that link so you can get into the the grandfathered into the way things used to be. I want to show you, let's see if I can get into this thing. I'm just going to show you actually how easy it is to order. Might need to switch browsers. Give me just 1 second, guys.
answer some questions real quick.
Sure, go for it. I'll do this on in the meantime.
Sure. People are asking if this only works in the USA, and the answer is no, it'll work anywhere as long as you see that 7-pack of local listings. So just pop in and do a quick search and see if it pops up, like do for like plumbing or dentists or whatever you want. See if it pops up. And in most cases it will. If it doesn't, you can always target other countries. Just because, you're not in the USA doesn't mean you can't target there. I work with many clients who are on the other side of, where I am, and I have never met with them face to face, but I work with them. So that's definitely not a problem. Another question we got a lot was, are there any upsells? And there are no upsells. So for $149, you get in and you're in. So that's something I wanted to make sure I did for you to give you everything. Are you ready, Mark?
No, keep going.
All right. How long are we gonna leave this up, Mark? People are asking.
Well, we always give everybody fair time to get in. Let's do Monday. Monday night at midnight is when I think is a good time to take it off.
Okay. So there's your answer. So Monday till midnight, you guys have to get in, and then it goes back to to being closed, because this is private, like I said. So the only way you can get in right now is through Mark's link. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. You're going to get access to the awesome bonuses. I mean, that WordPress theme looks really cool, Mark.
Yeah, really thanks. Awesome. I worked really hard on putting that together. I wanted it to be, because we do a lot of stuff like that for our customers. And it makes it nice to be able to take one theme and just resell it over and over again.
Definitely. I'm going to switch the screen over to me real quick because someone was asking about the Google Plus badge.
Yeah, I'm having trouble finding what I'm looking for here.
Sure.
So go ahead.
Just trying to find my name. Okay. So a lot of people were asking, if you use Mark's theme, how are you going to integrate the Google Plus badge? So I'll show you how you can do that really easily. So you want to just go into Google and search Google Plus badge. Scroll down here to this link. It's the first one. And if you're logged into the account, it's super easy. You just select what your page is, all right? And it's going to let you choose how you want to add it. I mean, you can literally swap the width for whatever width you want, change the color schemes up if you want, and then you just grab this code and you just paste it in. So I'm sure Mark has a widget or somewhere you could put this badge to link it up. Otherwise, maybe on the homepage somewhere. So it's just an embed code, just HTML. So if you want to link up the badge, that's how you would do that. I mean, super easy.
Welcome to local.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I'm having all kinds of technical issues today. I don't know. Some days it's just not my days. I can't find the login page. I've looked throughout my whole email, everything. But once you sign up, you'll get the login page sent over directly to your login. For those of you that are all signed up, I wanted to show you how easy it is to actually claim a listing with the system. But basically, all you do is just fill out the details on that business, and put in your name, address, and all that stuff, and it'll go out and it'll search for the business to see if they have listings in the different sites. And if they don't, then you can literally just purchase for a year, I think it is, like all of those citations at once for don't quote me on it, but I think it's like $100 and some dollars, $140 for all of them. And then the cool thing about it is it actually updates over and over and over every single month, which Paul, that's huge for the rankings.
Yeah.
It's consistently updated. They go in and do all of that, so you don't have to log into each and every one of those accounts every month. People don't realize that, but that's part of the ranking. Huge, is that Google sees activity on those on those listings that you're going in and making changes or updating them, and just keeping them verified. That takes a lot of time too.
Definitely. Lewis is asking if someone wants to get in like a month or two from now, is that possible? And unfortunately, that's just not possible. I mean, we only accept so many people at a time. So, I mean, if you want in, you have until Monday at midnight. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Rich Brooks. Just gave me access. So let me just go ahead and show my screen real quick.
Okay, cool.
It's nice to have people here who can get me that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thanks,
Rich. Let's see here. Share my. Why can't I make myself presenter? There we go. Awesome. So everybody can see my screen again, right? So this is it. When you come in, all you have to do is just put in the business name and zip code, or you can put in the phone number and then do a search. And then once you identify, then you can go ahead and purchase your listings. All right. So I mean, it's really, really simple. And you can actually purchase. Let's see here. You can actually purchase the listings ahead of time. So check it out. You can either buy one for $197, and that's an annual thing. And if you're like me, or you saw Paul, what is it that you charge again monthly for the service that you're providing?
I charge $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month. So $197 broken down over the course of 12 months. Do you think that can make it into you think you can make profit on that?
Definitely, for sure.
Let me just do some math here, right? 197 divided by 12. Yeah, $16. So if you're like me and you hate doing all that extra work, this is awesome. If you buy in bulk, once you actually start getting lots of customers, you can really save some money. I mean, 15, you're paying like $100 a piece for the whole year. So, anyways, I just wanted to show everybody that you don't have to buy it when you get in there and start using it, but it's definitely huge for you to have in your business. So, if you want to switch that back over, Paul, guys, this is huge. You outdid yourself seriously on this training. Everybody here, go ahead and throw something in the chat and just let Paul know that you appreciate him.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Thank you.
Happy
very
you guys
much.
Enjoyed it. Mark, people are asking where they can reach out to you for your bonuses. Do you have a link to your support?
Send your receipt. Everybody just send your receipt to support, which if you don't have my support by now, I'm shocked. Let me just go ahead and drop it in here anyways. There you go. It's markhelton.zendesk.com. Just go ahead and drop us a line with your receipt, and as soon as we get that downloaded file, and there's also some training, I'll send that right over to you, and that will be probably tomorrow sometime.
Awesome. And people are asking about a replay. We'll probably have that out either this evening or tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, we're going to get the replay out as soon as possible. I usually try to get them up in the next couple hours. Paul, if you wouldn't mind sending over what you got as well.
I will, yes.
I've been recording.
Yeah, I'll convert it and upload it right away. Awesome. Any other final questions before we wrap up?
Anything, guys? This is your chance, right? You've got a official, a guru of Google Local Plus. Well, actually now it's Google My Business here on the line. You should definitely take advantage of that. Going once, going twice. Awesome. Yeah, guys. So again, thank you so much for everybody showing up today. Like I said, we'll get the replay out as soon as possible. Keep in mind, you only have until Monday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the way I always do it because I'm on the West Coast. So 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday, it will go down. And definitely this is something that you want to pick up, because if you're doing any type of consulting, which everybody here is doing, local consulting, this is something you need in your arsenal. Got some great bonuses. You got some great training, and I feel completely confident that Paul is going to take good care of you guys on the inside. Again, Paul, thank you so much for coming out today, and it's been great.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.